Welcome back to Watching Film and Varnadore Films. I am Seth Varnadore. I'm a former high school and college football coach. Now I break down film here on YouTube in conjunction with Alligator Army with a particular emphasis on the Florida Gators. Florida and Georgia last weekend, not particularly close on the scoreboard. I thought Florida played pretty well in some aspects, pretty bad in others. I think you really saw the talent difference on the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball and really showed itself in the run game. We're going to watch a little bit of the game, not every single play, because you don't need to see, Georgia run the ball for 6 yards just by bulldozing the front. You got to see that enough on Saturday, right? So we're going to look at some stuff on both sides of the ball, stuff that I liked. So we'll start on the defensive side of the ball. It's going to be stuff I liked, stuff maybe some scheme things here or there. Highlight some good plays by guys on Florida. Again, we're not going to look at too many of the mundane 6-7 yard gains where it's just, guys getting blown off the ball. There's not much you can do there. That's a personnel issue more than a scheme issue. So we will start with a run here early in the game. I thought a good job here by Big Dez kind of holding up two blockers at the point of attack. He's here. He prevents one of these guys from getting up to the backer. Right, he gets just enough of both of them. The backer's able to kind of flow over the top there. You see the center can't get up to him, and Dez does a good job right here getting off the block. Him and the backer combined to make a play there on the ball. Minimal gain. 3rd and long. Been a sore spot for Florida. Again here, only rushing 3, dropping 1 back kind of as a spy. But one thing Georgia really like to do when you watch them pregame or kind of the weeks leading up to this in the preview, they like to run Y cross. They like to run this guy on a deep crosser. So you'll see here Florida handles the crosser pretty well here. He's got the crosser. The backer here is going to run underneath. Then you basically get a bracket on that with the safety over the top. Good job here in coverage. Tries to throw the ball to the crosser. You get off the field on 3rd down. All right, so this is one where I'm not quite sure what the coverage is here. I have a guess, but I'm not positive, right? Because it's too high. Middle of the field is open, and nobody's rotating to the middle. So he's not really rotating in the middle of the field. He's not rotating in the middle of the field on the snap. Looks like he's got eyes on 2, really, and 2 goes vertical. So I wonder if they're playing like a version of – he looks like he's playing almost like a version of 2 read down here or palms maybe. 2's vertical. I'm not positive, but I just don't know why his eyes are back here. That's something you'll see sometimes where in a 3-by-1, you'll kind of – this guy will peek backside for number 3 coming across. But here it's just 2 guys over here. It's a 2-by-2 set with the tight ends down here. So his eyes are here, and you see his eyes on number 2 there. I'm not sure if that's a miscommunication, if he's supposed to have eyes on 2 here. But he kind of just sneaks in this big void right there. It's a total guess on my part because I'm not positive just in terms of I don't know why he'd be looking over there, but maybe he was supposed to have eyes on 2 here. Again, I can't be too sure exactly what's the deal is here because I don't see rotation. I don't know if he's playing for a crosser coming across here, but you got a 2-by-2, so I don't know why you would kind of play it that way. So there's just a weird – I think this one's just a coverage bust right here. And you get him wide open up the seam. So that was just kind of one of the ones that was kind of strange to me. Here we go a little bit further down. Great job in coverage right here. Right, you talk about playing through the hands to finish. This is a great job being in the hip pocket and then playing through the guy's hands. Not only do you play through his hands, you steal the ball. Great job there by the defender, finishing the play, playing through his hands, coming up with a pick there. Right? Good stuff. And it looks like you're pretty tight coverage kind of across the board here. And you get a little bit of interior push here as well, right? You're kind of starting to win right here. Maybe this ball, it's not a badly thrown ball. Maybe he wants to, maybe throws a little bit sooner than he wants. But great play really by the defensive back there. So first down, pretty good sequence here for Florida. This is one where it's hard to tell if he's out here, but they might be playing maybe a version of Stubby here, a quarters look, where he's got him locked up man, and now you're playing 3/2 here. Hard to tell exactly with the play, but it's usually I feel like when you have the corner rolled up and looks like he's outside shade. When he's outside, that could be an indicator of that. So you got a version of quarters coverage here. Pretty good job by the end here of kind of slow playing this thing, forcing the give, and then getting down the line of scrimmage and making a play. Not a great, 4 yard, 3-4 yards is fine. You get a 2nd and 6 here. And this is something they started to show a little bit more that I don't think they showed a ton of. It certainly looks like they're in a tight front here. So a 4-eye, a nose, a 4-eye, walk up. Depending on formation, these guys can kind of string out a little bit. But this is kind of the defense or somewhat of the front that Iowa State made famous. Georgia runs a good bit of this. This is a pretty popular front going around. I don't think Florida's been in a ton of it, and they got into some in the game here. I wonder if that's something they may go to more with the dismissal of Cox. Maybe this is something they could go to with their personnel. But good job by Bernie here, recognizing the throw out there, kind of beating the blockers across face, making a play because they have a pretty good play on out here if it gets by him and he's able to get in the backfield and make a play there. Force another 3rd and long. And then this was a really, really well-timed blitz, really well-called blitz here too. And then great job playing the screen here. So they're showing all this pressure over here. If it's a 4-man slide, you're getting the slide there. Even if it's a 3-man slide, you're getting the slide to go this way. And now you're bringing pressure from this side. So good job manipulating the pass protection here. You see you get a 4-man slide there. He's rushing the passer. He gets a free run at the quarterback now. That's all by alignment. And what's the other great thing about this? You get them to slide that way, and now you drop him out. So now you got a couple guys blocking one, and you've really wasted some linemen here. But now they're not trying to do a great job blocking because of the screen, but look, they did a great job. You got one on the quarterback. Cox is here. He plays the screen pretty well, but then you also got the backer coming over the top in possibly in man coverage. He's there to make the play if the ball gets through. So really well done. Georgia's a big time screen team, so maybe this is something they were looking for here. Great job here. And it's aggressive, but it's not unsafe, right? You're still not bringing a ton of guys, and you're still being able to drop guys into coverage. Just a great job manipulating the protection there. Another blitz on an early down here. And again, you don't have to bring a ton. Just bringing a 5th guy here. And this is, again, you see the tight front. So right here, I think they've got the slide going this way. The one-on-one this backside, right? Big on big right there. Inside, he takes his eyes. Outside, he takes his eyes, opens the gate for the linebacker on the blitz there. And then you drop him into coverage here on the backside. So another look, it looks like at the tight. It's hard to tell exactly without the end zone copy, but it looks kind of like some tight front stuff, which is interesting to see from Florida. You hadn't seen a ton of it, I don't think, this year. So more of that would be welcome. Good job communicating this thing across with the motion. He bumps out. Makes a really difficult decision for this tight end here, then go make a play there on second down. 3rd and 10. Again, I'm showing a ton of pressure here. I do bring a decent amount of pressure too. I'm not dropping everybody out. I bring some pressure. And look, you get, I believe this is Bernie here on the back. Watch him against the back here. He makes this play right here and pushes the back all the way into the quarterback. But interesting thing on this, right? If you're a guard here, you're thinking, I'm going to step inside because I've got inside pressure right now. So I need to step inside for this backer. That lets Bernie go, right? Guard goes here. The back steps up for Bernie. The guard is stepping up for this linebacker. I believe that's Miller. Walked up on the ball. He goes to step up. Miller drops out. Now he's in the pass protection. You basically wasted this guard, and now you got Bernie one-on-one with the back, and he pushes that guy all the way into Stetson's lap. Almost a great catch, but good coverage. Quick throw forced. Get off the field on 3rd down. So drive right before half right here. You've got a shot. Drop him out to the flat, and you'll see it from the end zone view here. We got the end zone view on this one. If he just goes right to the flat, this play is dead. There's nowhere to go with the football. So right here, go to the flat. Don't know why you're getting him coming back here. Just go to the flat. Stay in the flat. You stay in the flat, he tries to throw that, you got a chance right there. All you got to do is stay here. You don't need to worry about this, right? Just go to the flat. Don't need to come back inside at all. Just play the flat right there. All right, so now we're in the second half. Not a terrible job here. Not a great job, but we've seen it worse playing the counter here by the end down here. At least dents it a little bit. But the push inside here doesn't really let this backer meet this thing in the backfield. He gets a pretty clean path here, even with this guy doing a pretty good job. That double team forces it there. Now your corner right here does a pretty good job coming up and playing it. He doesn't make the tackle, but he comes up and gets physical, slows him down, and good pursuit there by Bernie to rip it out. And then Florida does a great job getting on it. I believe that's Trey Dean that comes up with the recovery. All right, Georgia tries to slip the back out of the backfield. Bernie with another pretty good play. I thought he played pretty well. Or he made some big plays. He had a couple times in the run game that they got him pretty good, but in coverage, he was pretty sound against a variety of dudes. So I thought he played a pretty good game. I think that was one for sure. I believe he got named one of the players of the week on the defensive side of the ball. So that's not exactly mind-bending here. Good job here by McClellan. It's trying to see him. When I went and watched spring practice, he was a guy that was disruptive in spring practice. It's just hard for freshmen to see the field a ton early. So I'm glad he's getting more reps. I'm not sure if this is a called stunt here, but he's inside. This thing kind of bounces, and he's back out here. I'm not sure if this could be a run. a game up front for the run game. Inside, force him to bounce it to your tackle that's wrapping around. He bounces it right to McClellan there, who makes a play. So it could be a nice little run stunt there. Get you to bounce it right to me. Florida did this a couple times, I thought. This is a counter look, but I think they want Stetson. Stetson's feeling the pull here. But Florida, all right, you bring Cox. He's reading Cox, so he pulls it. Florida also brought the corner from the short corner here into the boundary. So now he pulls it and he sees, oh, crap. He's there too. I don't think they have a throw off this. They're just blocking, forces him to throw it away. So bringing the short corner there, maybe expecting a quarterback keeper, a boot, coming back to the sideline there. And they bring the short corner again here. And then you have some really good coverage here. I believe this is the one. All right, yeah, didn't bring the short corner here, but you have some good coverage here by Trey Dean. Motion the back out to get empty. Showing blitz. Drop out of it. Good job. Playing through the hands, finishing at the top of the route there on third down. That's a great job there. Great play. Come back on 4th and 7. This one, you're in pretty good position. This is just an animal right here. There's not much you can do. You see he's trying to play through the hands there. That guy's just kind of a beast. There's not much you can do. Well thrown ball right there. But Georgia motions, gets the man coverage right there. And you just got to, right, it's just one-on-one. Whoever's going to win, and this dude's really good. Tough spot. Well thrown ball. And Georgia won a lot more of those matchups than Florida did, and that's one of the main reasons they won this game. So let's go to the offense. So we got 3rd and 6 here. Florida's going to run kind of like a shallow constant, not quite almost like a drive, but they're not really. A lot of times you'll have this guy come from outside on the drive, but kind of the same idea. Shallow and then a dig behind it there. Richardson throws the shallow, but you'll see, I think if he throws it right out of his break, there's a little hole there for the dig. So, right, what you're thinking is these guys, if you get these guys playing the shallow, you're hoping you can get the dig behind them, right? There should be a nice hole in the zone there for the dig. Throws the shallow. Corner's sitting in the flat there. Gets hit, right? So here, right here, you see he's dropping. They're almost playing I think it's almost like a Tampa 2 look. Or these guys are playing deep half. He's running the pipe. So right here, he's cleared out. I got to worry about him a little bit, but as he still pedals, I could put the ball on him right now. Now, he might be trying to bait this, and maybe that's what he sees, right? He's trying to bait that throw. But there's a window or there's a hole right here, kind of right out this break you might be able to fit it into. But if he feels this, I understand that. He feels maybe this guy would have had a chance to break on the ball there. But there's a hole right here. I think with his arm strength, he could probably fit that thing in there. So, right, puts it on him, dropped, he gets hit. Next drive, 1st and 10 here. This is one I think it looks to me like it's duo. The way it's blocked up. This is one I think I believe this is ETN. He usually sees it really well. He's trying to, I think he's got eyes here, right? In duo, you're kind of reading a backer. So he's got eyes here, and he's got really good vision, is able to kind of be pretty patient. I think he sees this guy get over the top or start to come over the top, and he's thinking he'll be able to cut that thing back there. But he just runs into the back here, and then you got that over the top there. I think he probably, as he's watching this, probably thinks, you know what? I should have just bounced this thing out here, because these guys do a pretty good job here. If he bounces this, I think he's got a play. but he's trying to cut back on that as he sees him get over the top, which if it's duo, that's something you'll get, right? The linebacker, if he flies over the top, I cut it back, right? I'm kind of reading him. So what does he do? I go away from him. But I think here probably could have bounced this thing, made him run through, right? Make him run through all this traffic. Probably get you one-on-one with a corner. Probably would have been a little bit better. But I think he's trying to get back, and it just gets a little cloudy. 3rd and 16, not much you can do here. But another one where Florida it's not a bad play they put on for 3rd and 16. Now, I'm not upset with this, though. If as you come up, drop it off perfect. This is one I think is more a victim of pass protection, which I think was the biggest issue on the night. There's a few on here, and we'll look at them. But I thought, so Florida kind of runs almost like curl in this window, curl in this window, and a curl in this window. So you've got basically like the same structure as a Hank call, which, right? So Hank is typically curl, and this is, despite what people may tell you, this is a NFL West Coast staple. So you got 3 curls and then flats. It's just curl flat, but 1 curl over the ball. But the way Georgia drops into the zone on 3rd and long here, you actually have windows for the curl routes. I mean, I think there's a window here again. If you can hit him right out of his break and maybe lead him over here a little bit, but on this shoulder, away from this guy, there's a pretty big window for this curl route right here. But you're kind of unable, if you're kind of able to square your shoulders and just put it on him right here away from him, you might have a chance of this first down even. But I'm not too mad at this. Again, if you don't want to force the issue, drop it down, pick up what you can. The real problem is you got yourself in 3rd and 16 before 3rd down, right? That was the issue. It wasn't really the 3rd down play. It's the other two that got you there. Here's the one that if you get the edge set, you've got a pretty good play here, I think. Problem is they don't get the edge set. So if they get this reached right here, you got a pretty good play. He's going to come inside and leave the corner for the back. So I like the design here. You'll see here, he gets the corner. If he could get that thing reached right there, and he's working towards it. If he gets that reached, you got the corner on the back, right? If this is blocked, if he has that guy reached in there, Pearsall is going to be able to hit this lane right here. Instead, you can't get him reached. You get tackled for a positive gain, but it could have been a little bit better play if you just get that. If you're able to get that thing reached right there, if you can reach block that guy, you don't have a bad play. You got a pretty good play, actually. You still pick up 2 or 3. Could have been a lot more if you got that thing blocked. So now you're in another 3rd down here. And this is one where they're running almost like a snag concept, but he's going to get to the ball. So snag typically, it's a similar idea here. Corner, flat. But I think the way they're doing is almost like curl, so a little bit deeper. He's got the corner. I believe he's got almost like a deep crosser. May convert into a curl. It's hard to see. And he's coming across with the flat. So same idea for the quarterback. Same like triangle read over here, right? Triangle. Right? There. Same kind of read, but just a little different presentation of the defense. So as I'm looking at this, I'm kind of seeing, is this corner playing this curl route? If he is, then I got over his head, and you'll see it from this view here. Is he playing this curl route? If he's playing this curl route, which, I don't hate that you're throwing it on him, but if he's playing that curl route, there's the touchdown right here. Throw it with some air out to that corner route right there. Because this guy, I think he messed up. If they're supposed to be playing 3 deep, which he's rolling down. He's rolling to the middle. He's rolling deep third, it looks like. So he should probably be deep third. But with this receiver going inside, he's probably thinking, right, the corner out here is thinking that's the safety's guy. But once he breaks back out here, well, now he's yours. So right there, he's in his hip pocket. Throw it out here. That's a touchdown. Now, again, look at the protection. Maybe this thing gets thrown a little early. And maybe if I have a chance to step up, I can throw that corner out. Instead, I got to throw this one, the dig or curl here. And it's just just sky it a little bit, right? All right, so first play, this is another similar one. First play after, I believe this is after a turnover, right? First play, you get a chance. And then you get this. All right, this is just a pure protection issue. And the most disconcerting part is you've basically got 8 in protection. Now, the back kind of leaks out here, but this is almost max protection. And you're maybe like, oh, well, you can't get open with 2 guys out in the route. And he's just a deep crosser. Watch this if you can protect it. Right? If I have this thing protected, that's where I'm throwing the ball right there. These guys are all laid up with this. There's where I'm throwing the football. That guy's pretty open, but couldn't protect it. Maybe even with a front like Georgia's, if I'm telling you I'm keeping 8 in, I'm max protecting, you feel pretty good about it. So I don't know if that's just the tackle, if the back should chip there off the fake, but if it's protected, this is a big one right here. So that one's tough to go back and watch. If you had that one protected, you got a really good play there. Instead, you're in 2nd and 23. You're able to pick it up here, pick up a good chunk of it back with this concept they seem to like here. Right, you get enough hold here. And the way they do this is pretty interesting. He's got, I think, a curl here. He always looks like he's running across the field on a deep crosser, and he curls up. And they run enough deep crossers that they got to respect that. So he curls up and is able to find the hole in the zone quite a bit. Florida doesn't convert. That's the punt there. This is one where I think this is an issue, kind of an upfront issue right here. I would think in previous games where you have this blocked pretty well, right, where I'm not getting this push back into the backfield, he can press this and get back, which he's shown a pretty good eye for that, right? I don't get a chance to really press the hole here because by the time I get vertical, I've got pushed back into the backfield here. I'm not able to get back across. I just got to get vertical and get what I can. Not a bad run here, but if you're able to kind of really press that hole here cleanly, now I can kind of get back to here is what I think he'd like to do. And it just isn't clean. And so he's had to kind of get vertical a lot quicker than he'd like to. 3rd and 6 here. Good changeup. I don't know if this was called from the sideline or if he saw something here. I think the more they can throw to the backs, better. Right down here. Good job by Pearsall. This guy's not. This is not like a small dude. This is a guy that rushes the passer as an edge. Inside, here, well blocked here. They ran a little bit of screen in this game. I'd like to see more. I think the ones they've run with the backs have been pretty well designed. So you'd like to see a little bit more of it. But good design there. You get a guy at the seam here. You got some room. Now this is tough because you kind of got to layer this ball. But this is a throw he can make here. You see the safety opens this way. Opens to this vertical. So you know you got one working that side. If he's able to put that thing on, if you got some room, maybe a little bit more air at about here, you have a chance. But those are throws you got to have to hit to beat a team like Georgia, right? The defense is pretty good. They don't allow a lot of easy ones. So here's another one. I believe is this the very next play, right? You actually get a great call here. You get a shot play. They're thinking Florida's been running curls. They've been running a couple of digs. Here, he's there. This looks just like dig pivot. A lot of teams run dig pivot. He's actually going to run dig and go and just get wide open. But again, protection issue. This Richardson gets out of it and tries to heave it because he knows this guy's so wide open. He just wants to heave it down there. You get hugged up back here. You don't get a call, but you can see it from this view right here. So right there, he's coming in for the dig. You can see he's already starting to come down. Bang. He's gone. If Richardson's able to have a clean pocket here and throw this thing, might be a touchdown. Pocket's not clean. He has to get out. And he knows it's so open. He's just like, I'm going to chuck it down there as far as I can. Not able to get his feet set. This is not interference, but some other ones were. So I don't know what to tell you on some of those. But you see the concept was there. Could have been a touchdown. Again, the issues is you're just kind of getting whipped up front for a lot of the game. Clean pocket, great throw against a really good corner. These are the flashes, right? This kind of stuff. I get a clean pocket, deliver a really nice ball. I mean, that's like inch perfect right there. Great throw. Great catch. Those are the flashes of kind of brilliance you see. And then there's other times where not quite sure what's going on. So 3rd and 12 here. This is one where everyone's like, what's going on here? This is kind of a tough look, right? Because it's kind of hard, I think. Georgia makes a pretty good play here. But, on this, you're down, you're kicking, and you're wrapping, right? So on the snap, as I'm coming down inside, he comes out here. I would think, and now again, I'm not in the meeting rooms. I'm not exactly sure how they tell him to block it. But I would think, since my rule is probably down, my rule's not that man, my rule is down. If he jumps outside, I would think my rule is still down. So I'm just going to go down here. And he's down there, guard's down there. This first puller will kick him or maybe has to log him. And then he reads that first puller, gets up inside or has to bounce it, right? So right there, what ends up happening is you get 2 there. This guy does a pretty good job reading it and gets vertical. But since I've got 2 here, I've got 1 unaccounted for here. I mean, Etienne's got insane feet, by the way. This is just ludicrous. But going sideways against Georgia, you're going to get tackled, right? But right here, if he goes there, he kicks, and whatever this guy decides to do, if he kicks him out, this guy will come inside and clean it up. If he jumps inside, then he'll log it. Let's try to remove some of the. So if he jumps inside, I'll log him and I'll go around, right? So just imagine that's what happens. You got a pretty good play, right? If all that's blocked and you've got 2 for 2 here, you've got a shot. So even on 3rd and 12, what did you do here? Well, I motioned just to the front of the play. Got that safety out of play, got him to rotate down, got one-on-one right there, and then I got a hat for a hat, really, right? So the motion gets that safety out, 1 deep safety, reading him with the quarterback, got a hat for a hat here. Quarterback he could probably either keep it or pull it and throw it. This is probably the right read, but just didn't get it blocked up front. If they blocked that up, if they're able to kind of get that rule sorted, you might have had a pretty good play there, even though it was 3rd and 12. And it's kind of like, why are we running on 3rd and 12? Not a bad play, just didn't get executed. You can see it here, right? If my rule is down and he goes outside, then do I just keep going down to him and let these two clean these two up? I think that's what you would do, because what happens is you waste 2 on him, and now you got nobody for him. And again, like I said, great cut here, but you can't go sideways against Georgia. All right, 2nd and 14, late in the half here. This is one where, they're if I'm looking backside here, right, as I see this guy blitzing, because he's part of my count here, because I got 3, and you got if you don't have 3 over 3, I need to throw this out here, right? So as I see this guy coming, pull that thing out, throw it right here. I got 1 for him, and just pick up 5, 6, and this is what Kent State busted a couple of these for big plays against them. This will be the most interesting thing, I think, against Tennessee for Georgia next week, seeing how they deal with these kind of things. Because this is how Tennessee kind of gets you going sideline to sideline. But right there, as he comes, pull it and throw it right there. I got him blocked, and he's one-on-one at worst with a backer. So there was a couple of those I thought he could have pulled and thrown. And then 3rd and 12 here. He's got a no situation, down, distance, time in the game. Right here, don't go out of bounds. You can see it here. You might be able to get a first down here. The LSU run, you broke a few tackles in that one. You might be able to get a first down or more. At worst, keep the clock moving. Don't go out of bounds, right? And then take unnecessary hits on your legs. I'd rather you jump inside and slide than do that, right? Second half, Pearsall lined up at tailback. They motioned him out. Really good screen here. I like the screen design. This is something that if you're getting whipped up front, it's always nice to be able to pull out a screen. Good job here. Good execution. I think everybody would agree getting ETN the ball in space is always a good idea. But right here, corner, you got the receiver here. And then you got 2 guys out front and somebody coming back behind here. So you're going to get guard, center, guard out front. And you don't got a kill shot, just getting people's ways, and ETN can kind of read it. So good design there. This one, I put this on just so you can kind of see. I think this was kind of more of an ETN game than a Montreal Johnson game. I think Montreal's really good at sticking his foot in the ground, getting vertical. One cut, right? Really good one cut runner. ETN's a really patient runner. I think you have to be a little bit more patient against Georgia. Just kind of watch the feet here. And now he's able to kind of find the small crease here. You can kind of see where the helmets are going, kind of get up in line of scrimmage, get him to commit. Then once I find that crease, accelerate, stick your foot in the ground, pick up the first down there. So really, really, really exciting prospect for the future. And then your left tackle here. This wasn't too bad either. That guy played a lot this week. Right tackle and left tackle. That's a pretty good finish right there. But ETN's got some really, really great feet. So here's one. He's kind of splitting the difference here between 1 and 2. So as you're kind of looking through here, it looks like you've got come back and go. Right? If I've got eyes on the corner here and he's turning and running, I can just laser it on the comeback right now. Right? Just laser that thing on the comeback. If you take a shot to the seam there, that's all right. Just, put it on him. But that's a tough throw. Whereas if I can just throw it on this comeback, if I see that corner just running with the kind of running halfway between with the seam, just laser it on that comeback right there on the sideline. Take 15. Next down, right? 3rd and 9, another run play, but you kind of get what you want. Again, just don't get the block. So jet fake. He's out of here. You're pulling kick and a wrap. Right here looks really good. So if I get this kick, here comes the wrap. He's running with the jet. I've got a pretty good play here. He's coming inside to try to cut off. I don't get the kick. So this thing's forced to cut back. And then Richardson does a great job, carrying some dudes. But if I get the kick right here, I got a pretty decent play. So again, not a bad call, not a bad design. Just kick that dude. If I kick him out of the play and he's out, he's leading up there. Richardson hits this thing. I think you see from the back view. Right? If he's on his feet, it's hard to tell if he gets stepped on here or trips. He may just trip there. But if he stays on his feet and just kind of cleans this dude out just to here, and he's fitting up right there, look at that lane right there. But now I miss this guy, so now I got to cut it back into all this traffic. But this is where you use your imagination. If my guard stays on his feet right there and just fits this guy up right here, and I'm fitting him up, there's my running lane right there. He's running full speed this way. He's not going to be able to stop. Now I've got one-on-one with a safety or a backer trying to get over the top here, or maybe a safety trying to get over the top on Richardson, who's a bigger dude. So, again, not a terrible play call, not a terrible play design. Just got to execute it, right? Just got to get that kick out block. Georgia presents some interesting things with the way they move up front and their athleticism, but still got to execute. Good job here. I thought this was a good job from Richardson, just getting his eyes around and getting the ball out of his hands. That's something he's snapped his head around late a few times. Right here, the way people are going to play boot, he's got to be ready for this and just take these yards when you can get them. 1st and 10, drop the ball off, pick up 4 or 5 on 1st down. That's a good play. There's been too many times this year where he comes out of this, has to kind of extend it instead of just getting the ball out of his hand immediately. Tries to extend it, ends up throwing it away. Right here, that's fine. Take 5 yards on 1st down. Get yourself in a 2nd and 3rd manageable. So here's one. He pulls it. Great run by him here. I think this could be leading to some other things down the line. So I put this one in here for that. Also, it also makes you wonder how many of these does he have a chance to pull. So, right, zone read. He could definitely carry this out and become the pitch man on like a modern triple option look, right? So here's your dive guy. Your keep is the quarterback. Your pitch is out here. So this could definitely modern triple option. Watching this to the game, I was like, why isn't he throwing this out here? But it looks like the throw might not have been on the way he's kind of looking back for it. But good job here. But that's something that can be easily implemented here as a triple. Where he pulls right there as this guy comes to commit, right? As this guy, I get vertical right here as he comes to commit, throw it out there to him, and now you've got a pretty big play out there. Richardson's such a freak. He turns it into a big play regardless. But that could be a wrinkle we see down the line if they start to run Richardson a little bit more. Here's one you got to have against the number 1 team in the country. You get 2 for 1 here. Why do they run so much jet? Well, it's all window dressing. Here, up the seam, coming across, right? So you get 3 verticals off this. This action, Now watch, you'll see from the wide view, you get a little Georgia on Georgia crime here. Right here, you get two guys running into each other, but this one, you got him. And if you don't like that one, you got this one right up the seam. Either or, pick your poison, just give them a good ball. Just skies it a little bit. Again, against really good teams, those are the ones you got to have. 3rd and 7, inverted veer, power read, whatever you want to call it. Florida goes 4 into the boundary here. The way Georgia matches up, you get less bodies to the field. So once I make this read, and they're going to respect Richardson, you feel just a foot race, right? He closes, easy read, hand it off, and now it's just a foot race. ETN is a pretty bad dude. He's able to pick it up for a nice first down on 3rd and 7. But nice little wrinkle there, power read, inverted veer. Little quarterback sweep. I think you're going to see a throw off this eventually. They run it a couple more. I think they run it another time in this game. You're going to see a throw off this in a game, I would imagine, especially the way he comes down inside. He's probably going to hit the corner. He's going to hit the flat. You're going to see a throw off that. So be on the lookout for that in the coming weeks. But this has been a really good run play for them. This is something they ran against Tennessee. Split zone, great patience by ETN. The back view here again. Watch how much play Richardson gets. And using the split zone, I think you bring some guys' eyes back over here as well. So this split, the tight end coming across, and Richardson kind of holds 3 guys back here. ETN patiently gets up in the end zone. I had not seen this yet from Florida. This was an interesting concept, kind of borrowing, I think, from something LSU did a few years ago. But it's hard to tell if he was running a corner here. So he's in the flat. He's actually going to be – so this isn't too dissimilar to some of their flood stuff, right? But he's going to be the intermediate guy. It's hard to tell if he's flattened that off or if he's running a corner like a scissors route. But he's the intermediate guy. This is a really cool design here. And right here, you'll see from the back view, right? Everyone's kind of complaining about not getting the backs in the passing game. They're trying to. So right here, out, you'll see he is the intermediate guy. Oh, my Lord, that's way too high right there. He's out. He's the intermediate guy, and you see the corners, or the post, rather, is coming there. So right here, corner, if he's to the corner, you see all that room right there. Richardson gets it out of his hands to the flat, but you've got this guy was springing open if you could just wait a hair to get him out there. Good run here. So 3rd down, watch, you split zone action, then watch Shorter right here does a really good job getting down here, digging out this safety. Good job, able to let that thing get out there, make corners tackle people. They don't like to tackle. They don't get paid to tackle, right? Make them tackle. If you got a guy that can tackle at corner, you got some bad dudes. Make them tackle. They don't like to do it. Quarterback sweep again, right? Good cut, but you're going to see a throw off this. The throw's got to be coming off that. This is one that I don't mind the decision. Just put it on him. You'll see it from this view here, right? This is to widen the corner, right? It's window dressing. It widens him. Now I'm running right at the safety. I run at him, so I hold him right here. And now, bang, I break him off into all this room I've created as this guy widens, right? He started – where did the corner start the play? He started on the hash. Where the safety – the safety starts like here on the R, and the corner starts on the hash. So watch where these guys get when the ball's about to be thrown here. He hasn't moved an inch. He's out to the numbers here. So I've basically created all this room by design. Just bang, put it on him on this L right here. Throw it on the L, and you've got a touchdown. Don't even get on the F there. right? I don't mind him trying to throw this in here. He just got to put it on him right out that break. Put it on him. You've got room. It doesn't have to be perfect throw. But, I mean, if I put it just at the tip of the F here, I've got a shot. And then if you don't like it, if you think it's tight, drop it down to the guy that's so open he's off screen. There's nobody around him. So there was some room to fit that thing in there. You gotta throw it in there. This is one I think you just gotta, to me, with you're running the counter again. I didn't like this call. Right, you got counter. Is it possible? Is it decent by design? It's okay, but look at all the bodies, right? If you're looking for him to have a chance to read it, we got 2 off the backside. You've got 3 over 3 out here. This is one where I wouldn't be mad, especially with the way they're aligned. Just take this thing out there and throw it. Throw the 3-on-3. This is a pretty crowded box right here. Hindsight's 20/20, of course, but throw the 3-on-3 out there. You get a good block right there, and this guy takes a bad angle. House, you're going, right? So don't get it. Have to settle for a field goal. A good hard run there. Again, I'm not sure if there's this is kind of one. Is there a read element on this? I don't know. It looks like they might be over the top on the backside there. But this was a great job right here. So he's thinking, right? He's trying to kind of trap this, squat on it, hope you throw him one. Right? He turns to open like he's going to run, and then he squats. So great job not getting fooled here. He's going to squat at the sticks, like, please throw me this out route. I'm going to jump on this thing. He's waiting for it. House call. He sees him squatting. He decides hole shot. Safety tries to creep up. Bang. Right? That's some growth. That's, that's kind of the one. That's the spot where he's throwing his pick sixes, is kind of throwing to the flat region, not seeing a guy squatting. Bang. Takes it over the top. Touchdown. Deep crosser here off the play action. Good job stepping up and getting it to him. Third and 7. This is another one, maybe, I wouldn't be upset if you pull this right here. And then, again, I think you got an option out there. But if you're able to get a little bit more push inside here, you've got a chance on this play if you give it. I wouldn't mind a pull, but there's your kick, there's your wrap, but I'm getting nothing here, right, on this down. I'm not getting a lot of push there. It gets put back in my lap there. So play that could have a chance, maybe, kind of dies right there. 4th and 6, you're going to run mesh. Right here, if it's man coverage, I think you can take a shot at this as he's getting wider, just to put it on him. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's part of his read right now, but with the coverage, you'd have to feel pretty good about getting man the way they rotated with the motion. You can kind of see it from here. You don't get a ton, but if I catch it up on the snap and just put it on him for 6 yards, I think that'll pick it up. But, right, you're waiting for this mesh to happen here over the ball. If you see man coverage, you're thinking one of these meshes coming across. You probably would be able, if the rush is in your face, to put it right there on him is probably what he's thinking. But you miss the rush here. That's not going to be easy for anybody. They step up. And then by that time, the routes dispersed a little bit. Same one as earlier. You look like you're running a deep crosser and you curl it up. This is a winning concept for them for sure. Curl, deep crosser, flat. Just kind of like a half a hank. Good job here, kind of avoiding the rush. Interesting thing that the receiver lined up in the backfield there, running the route out of the backfield. That was interesting. But good job here avoiding the rush. And picking something up here with your legs. I'm not sure why, it'll kind of wait to the second half there to start using those legs, but that's going to be helpful. Hopefully he gets to those earlier. Right here, I like this, right? Count. You got 2 over 1. Throw it out there. That's easy. That's an easy way to pick up 11 yards right there. Good run here by Etienne. What I like here is they've got this package with it. So, again, I think if he pulls it, he's got a chance to run modern triple option. So if he's down in there, he can pull it. And now what's he do? Does he fly up here or will I flip it out? So there's a little bit more read stuff in the second half. I wonder if they were worried about his injury on the first play or apparent injury on the first play. Here's another one where if I'm bluffing, I'm probably reading it, right? So here, if I'm not kicking and I'm bluffing, to me that signals it's probably a read. Also, I think if I'm Richardson, this guy goes inside the bluff, I'm pulling that. He goes inside the bluff, pull it, and now you got your lead blocker right there. It is a little murky, but, I would think if they're bluffing it, they're reading it. If that guy goes inside the bluff, pull it. Second 11, you got basically smashed to both sides, I believe. Corner, speed out, flat. You just got to hit this guy, right? The corner bails. Put it on him. Get yourself in a third and manageable. Opens up the playbook quite a bit more than third and 11. Where you get snag. And he may be sitting and going too, which is interesting. He sits, and then he takes back off there. Try to throw the corner out. Don't quite hit it. Don't get interference. Now you're at 4th and 11. Here's one right here. This is tough with, the pass rush kind of a lot of issues, right? Pass rush gave a lot of issues. But right here, as this motion comes across, right, this motion, I'm thinking it's man coverage. The way the safety rolls up, I'm thinking it's man coverage. The way right here, as I do the snap, he's rolling up. It's telling me man coverage. So right there, there's the man. There's the man. There's the man. There's the man. I've got him running a deep crosser. Man, if it's man coverage, if I can just get my steps back and throw with some anticipation, I know that's going to be open. We don't have the back view here, unfortunately, but you see this corner runs with the tight end. So basically that whole side of the field's open. If you could just take your feet and throw it there, instead the rush gets there, I got to throw it back into here into traffic, and that doesn't work. So back to the top. Florida had their opportunities, and against a good team like Georgia, you got to take them. I think there was some stuff there by design. They just didn't execute it. And against teams that have national championship aspirations, that's not going to be good enough. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let's game the YouTube algorithm together.